Welcome back to part 2 of our trip recaps. This time we are on the East Coast at Walt Disney World with Mackenzie. Welcome back to Extravagant Adventures, your gateway to the enchanting realm of magical travel. I am Rachel, and together with Abby and Mackenzie, we serve as your dedicated guides to the captivating worlds of Disney, Universal, and beyond. Embark on a journey with us as we unveil hidden treasures, share behind-the-scenes anecdotes, and provide insider tips that will elevate your vacations into extraordinary adventures. Whether you're a lifelong enthusiast or a novice explorer, Extravagant Adventures is your long-awaited voyage. Tune in every other week or sometimes twice in 1 week as we unveil a universe of wonder and cherished memories. Welcome aboard, fellow adventurers. And now, part 2 of our theme park news. And I forgot to ask us all where we got our ears in the last episode, so we're going to do it on this one.
Yay! Because they're the same ears.
Because they're the same ears. So theme park news part 2. This one, I mean, exciting, not that exciting. The Disney Treasure sailings are now available for booking late 2024 and 2025.
I'm very excited about that, actually.
They are pricey.
Mm-hmm. Yes. That part less exciting. More exciting that it feels like real and tangible when you can book.
Yes. I think the rooms are super cool looking.
Amazing. The whole ship looks amazing. I think it looks so different from anything that they currently have in the fleet, which I think is nice. I mean, the Wish is different, but it still feels very like princessy and like, yeah, this is like much darker and like a little more modern in motif.
It's just everything adventure, which is funny that the next ship is adventure, but even so.
I'm very excited about that too. I also am excited that like we're getting so much detail on another ship far enough out, you know?
Yeah. I'm just glad Disney continues to expand their fleet because they need it. I love Disney Cruise, and I would love to have a permanent ship in Galveston. I am by Galveston, and having a seasonal ship sucks. Having a year-round ship, fingers crossed.
Yeah. I mean, I get that. I feel the same way. Look, in 2020, what year are we in? 2024, there will be no sailings out of New York City, which is a ginormous bummer. We had a lot of clients who were really hoping for those New York City to Caribbean sailings. It's amazing when the Disney ships port at Chelsea Piers. So yeah, it's a ginormous bummer. I hope that is rectified. I hope you get your permanent ship. I hope that our other ships are able to move around a little bit more. I think, with the Treasure coming, like they're going to have to move the Wish out of Port Canaveral permanently, right? So
maybe, or they'll just
move around a little bit more.
Yeah, move it around a little bit more because that would be really nice.
That's all I want. A little bit more.
A little. Just I'm upset that they took away New York because that Bermuda sailing was good.
People were like, I would keep a list of people who wanted that. So I mean, on the off chance anyone hears this who is influential in port docking schedules, that's my feedback. People want that. It just makes it easier. It's nice for this part of the country that doesn't have to get on a plane. And frankly, like most competitors have, from Port Liberty in New Jersey. So.
Yeah, same. That Galveston. We've got Royal Caribbean and Carnival here year round. Even Princess and Norwegian are starting to do it. So come on, Disney. Well, they did announce that there are 2 more ships are coming after the adventure. So big things are on the horizon for the cruise, and I'm excited about it because we are all big Disney cruise fans. So very, very exciting. Also exciting, alcohol is now available at Disneyland. Disneyland Park. Riverbell Terrace, Carnation Cafe, Cafe Orleans, all now serve beer, wine, and a select number of mixed drinks.
Guys, I never thought that this would happen, if I'm being candid.
Like, do you feel happy or sad about this?
I feel indifferent about it. I think that, actually, maybe I feel slightly positive about it because I think that, like, there are people for whom this will really matter. While I drink socially, I almost never drink at Disney because I'm so high on the magic. I don't need it. But my mom definitely likes a glass of wine at dinner to decompress. So people enjoy their magic differently. I think it's good if it was dissuading people from visiting. I think it's a nice thing. I probably won't change it up so much. Unless there's some like offshoot location eventually down the line of like, you know, of a tiki bar, like we were saying.
If we can one day get into Club 33, I will have
Correct.
some drinks.
Because then I will be popping champagne bottles like I'm in a rap video.
Exactly. No one will stop me. The credit limit does not exist. Just it's gonna go down. But that's different. Like I don't know. Yeah, exactly. Like you say, like if there's something, maybe I want to have a glass of wine at dinner, maybe I don't. But having the option, I like that.
Mhm.
I like having the option and not just the decision is made for me because I don't really drink soda. But sometimes I like to have a glass of wine or an interesting cocktail. So I think it's cool. What do you think, Mackenzie?
I think it's great. I think, it's not out in your face, like in the parks. So
Yes.
you have to have a table service reservation. You have to, sit down. You can't take it with you. So yeah, I'm all for it. I think it's a great idea. I am one to enjoy a glass of wine with my dinner, and I think that is great.
Love it. Did you guys see the artwork for the Disneyland Paris Hotel that got its official opening date in January?
It looks
Stunning.
That chandelier, the curved chandelier with the like embedded crystal castle, my jaw hit the floor. It is stunning, but
It's
also
like cruise ship chandelier worthy.
it's so beautiful. I don't know if you guys caught this detail. Deluxe guests and club lounge guests, they both have a club lounge, right? But the club guests get an exclusive princess breakfast.
Well done.
I
think that's great. I think
that's amazing.
Disagree with me, but I think there are not enough extras for people who are paying the extra premium prices.
Yes.
So great.
Absolutely.
I'm glad that it's happening at one park.
Absolutely. The extras here, club lounge, and even for the deluxe rooms, like they are legit. And I did price this out for a client. I have 2 people looking to go to Paris next year that were waiting for these rates to drop. And honestly, the price difference between a standard room and a deluxe, because club you can't price online, it wasn't disgusting. It was like $400 for a 3-night stay. Like I would spend the $400. Now,
Absolutely.
club lounge, I don't know. I do feel like I'm going to do the splurge because all the extras that it includes. But they're adding 2 additional anybody access character dining. So one is just Mickey and friends, and one is princesses. And that is something that Disneyland Paris is very much lacking is character dining. And they're getting 2 at this hotel.
Yeah, I was also going to ask for your exclusive character greeting. Is it anyone rare? Do we know who the princess will be yet?
No, but the one that anybody can come to, it did say the princess and their prince.
Okay, thank you. I can't believe that's not back at Disney World. I sorely miss Trattoria del Forno's breakfast. As a mother of boys, my kids are always really psyched to meet the princess. Well, the princes.
Yeah.
Princesses.
Yeah. Well, Disneyland Paris.
I have one who thinks the girls are pretty, so into that. But the other one much more excited about meeting, the swashbuckling Prince Eric.
Yeah. Well, Disneyland Paris used to sometimes have the princes at the dining inside the castle inside Disneyland Paris, but it did say in writing Aurora and Philip, and I think it said Ariel and Eric, but it's gonna be the princess and their prince, and I am just psyched because yes, the princes don't get enough love, and I'm sorry, Prince Philip slayed a dang dragon. Eric stabbed a sea monster. Come on.
Is also like, listen, cartoon, live action, very good looking, psyched to meet him.
Prince Adam, all very exciting.
Did Prince Adam come too? Prince Adam is like.
No, Prince Adam is. That's who I met at Disneyland Paris. You don't meet the Beast. You meet Prince Adam. I've met him twice at Disneyland Paris.
As a child, now we're learning a lot about my psyche, but as a child, I was like, okay, I think the Beast might be better looking than Prince Adam. And as an adult, I'm like, no, Prince Adam is gorgeous. Well done, Belle, for playing the long game on that.
He just needs a nose job a little bit.
Okay.
Just a little bit. The rest of him is fantastic. Yes.
So
just
good.
a little.
His eyes are like, wow, stunning.
Stunning. Yeah. So catch me in September living my best life at the Disneyland Hotel because that is going to happen when I know the dates. I don't know the dates yet, but it's going to happen.
Are they going to bring back the runs around the same dates?
I don't know. I hope so. But if not, I've got a marathon planned for Bordeaux, so don't worry. I will be running in France. Don't worry.
Okay.
I don't want to talk about this next piece of news, so somebody else talk about it.
Well, now I got to go back and look, girls.
So Figment returned to Epcot.
Oh, Figment meet and greets, guys. I'll wait in line for Figment, but not the 5-hour lines that I've been heard are happening.
No.
But how many of us were surprised about that?
No one, because I'm the only thing I'm surprised about, and you know, now this is all out in the open for everyone to hear. I love Figment because I remember the OG Figment ride. Mackenzie and Rachel do not, and therefore don't understand the fixation with Figment. But I do feel like Figment ended up getting like fangirled sort of with the popcorn bucket debacle.
Yes.
Because I don't believe that all those people who were waiting in very long lines for Figment truly remember real Figment. I think they were just like, this is trendy, I must go. So I assume that's what's happening here because I love Figment and would never spend 5 hours doing that. Even if I were there for like weeks at a time, I would not spend 5 hours waiting in line to meet Figment.
So much better things you can do with your time than standing in line to meet one character that can't even stay on his feet properly.
He's cute. I'll give you that. Twice. That was unfortunate. You know, I don't want to talk about that because you know it really like, ruins the magic for me.
Because plug your ears. I feel really bad for the person inside.
I know.
But also, I don't feel bad for Figment.
As an IP property, no pity for Figment.
No, as a performer, you have my heart. As a character, Baltimore. Sorry. So also, I mean, that was kind of poorly constructed though, because that is a tight corner.
I was thunderstruck by this. He has a lot of areas, including like there's that whole outdoor courtyard for him. There's where Winnie the Pooh was by the ride. Remember during COVID, he was out there catching butterflies.
That was so cute.
I love that. Was my favorite.
Bring that back, but also Figment could hang out around there. There's lots of places in Figment's courtyard.
Yeah, but you know, we had to get rid of Vanellope apparently. So
I have feelings about that too. My kids really, there are not enough male characters to meet. My kids really enjoyed meeting Wreck-It Ralph.
Well, Vanellope's a cool character too because
Vanellope's cool.
She's not a princess. Even though she is, like, she's kind of a tomboy, and I think that's a cool character to have. So, I agree. Why couldn't they both coexist in that space?
Yeah, and she was like bullied.
Maybe.
Announcement.
Because they're going to retheme Test Track for Vanellope.
Oh, see,
now my God,
I'm good with that. That's a great idea.
Please, Disney overlords.
Manifest. Let's manifest that. I love that. Good job, Mackenzie.
That's great.
Thank you. I was thinking about it earlier.
They, you know, because in the Test Track one, obviously it's the same ride system as what's happening at California Adventure, but like there's not overt.
It is not
that you're racing, but it doesn't always like work out that way, right? Yeah. Like that you're racing with someone else's test car. But this would be perfect. You could be racing as Vanellope or as King Candy.
I love that idea. Approved.
Yep. Okay.
In the last piece, there's a lot of Epcot news, honestly, but this one I'm the most excited about. I don't know how you guys feel, but September 22nd, Soarin' Over California is back.
You want to know how I feel about this? It should only ever be Soarin' Over California. Have we discussed this yet? I cannot.
No, but why do you think that? Because for me, I like Soarin' Around the World if it was not the distorted mess that it is.
Well, yes, that is like like when people talk about things that Walt would have a problem with. There's someone like like I've heard a lot of that with the alcohol. I think if were Walt's around, he would understand. Like
Walt drank. Like let's just be real. Walt drank.
And like no one is no cast members letting it get sloppy in the Magic Kingdom. So like I'm not like or in Disneyland. I'm not worried about it. This one is offensive to me. Like it is the stuff you'd expect to see at like your local carnival. It's insane. I also think that that was the original. Soarin' Around the World lives at Epcot. That is on theme. Soarin' Over California is more on theme for California Adventure. But I will never. I mean that anyone looked at that at the Eiffel Tower and they were like, no, that's okay. shocks me every time.
It just stresses me out every time I see it. I'm like, even in like the middle, like the concourse, I just feel like sometimes it's so angled and I'm just
It's
like,
not about
my
your seats.
feet start sweating. I'm like, this is not right. This is not
But
right.
like, how did they do so well with Soaring Over California? Because stuff could have gotten distorted in that too. Nothing's distorted in that one. The picture is crystal clear, and y'all messed up so royally with Soaring Around the World. Like, how?
They just took it from Disney World, which is a much bigger screen, and they copied and pasted, whereas Soaring Over California was meant for that screen originally. Like, I remember I was there during the, like, you know, during the opening, and I was like, this is blowing my mind. It smells like oranges in here.
I love the orange grove. That's my favorite one.
It's
And
the
when
best.
a golf ball flies at your face and nobody knows the golf ball is flying at your face and everyone's like, and you're just over here cackling because you love jump scare pranks on people. Yeah.
It's great. Love me some slapstick. Yeah, I think there's no reason for that to be anything other than Soaring Over California permanently. Go see Epcot if you want to, you know, go. It's just more reason for things to be unique. Go visit both parks.
Yeah, I really hope this is there through at least December because I'll be going in December and I have missed Soaring Over California. So they didn't give an end date. They did say it was a limited time, but they didn't give an end date. Maybe it's because they're going to fix Soaring Around the World.
That would be terrific. Please let that be another thing.
Let's manifest both of those things. Yeah. Soaring Around the World gets fixed and a Wreck-It Ralph overlay on Test Track.
Yeah. Man, that would be amazing. And also, I know you're not going to ride it, but generally around this time, I don't think they've announced it. They all make Space Mountain, Hyperspace Mountain.
They haven't done Hyperspace Mountain at Disney World.
No, Disneyland.
Oh, yeah, Disneyland, they usually do it around Star Wars because they did do it around Star Wars.
They did it in November, at least before the pandemic, with the rest of the holiday overlays. And for me, I think that, like, with the Star Wars music blasting, the best.
Well, they didn't do it when we were there.
No. I was annoyed about it at the time.
Oh, well, fair. Because it is fun.
I hope it comes back. Yeah. Because I went for my birthday and it was there.
Well, maybe next time. Maybe next time. But that's all the news that I had. Did you guys want to add anything? Did I miss anything that you guys thought of?
There was so much news. I'm sure we'll have weeks and weeks of news to talk about.
I just picked the stuff that was actually interesting, not the, like, they had some other, like, when stuff is coming out on Disney Plus, but, like, that's not really important, so I didn't put any of that in there. But now we get to say, hey, Mackenzie, where'd you get those ears?
These are my Halloween themed or Haunted Mansion themed Factory 55 ears.
They are so good. Do they glow in the dark?
I think this side does, but I didn't actually get to see it.
You know what? Look alive. There's no turning back now. I love that.
I also am obsessed with the Hatbox Ghost.
Is it in there? The Hatbox Ghost is in there? Yeah.
He is in there. Unlike the mansion at Disney World, although he finally got his date.
I mean, he didn't. It said November.
Listen, that's better than what we had. This is taking longer than Tron.
I was gonna say everything takes longer than Tron, but no, nothing has taken longer than Tron.
No.
Abby, where'd you get your ears?
They're also Factory 55. I've been influenced by Rachel. They're classic. I think one thing that I'm really loving about these particular ears is Tinkerbell's little cameo moment there. And these also say on the back, can you guys see? No?
Where dreams come true.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
And I paired it with my Little Mermaid bow because I think that colorway works. Cute.
Yeah. And we confirmed that all three of us now have that pair of ears.
There you go. I mean, it's a good one.
It's a classic, and we'll all have to wear them together when we go to the parks.
We'll have to do it.
Not at Disneyland though, because it's not
Disneyland ones. I was gonna say I almost bought Sleeping Beauty.
Well, if you get Sleeping Beauty, I have those, and we can match. You know, I love a good matching moment.
But I think. Okay.
What? No,
I think my next one will be the Small World ones, the California Small World one. Great.
California Small World is superior. We have established that. We have. Yes. And mine are Disney parks.
Nice. I didn't think you owned any Disney parks.
Oh, I own a few. I just don't really wear them in the parks because they give me headaches. So I'll wear them for this because it's a shorter amount of time. And but it matched my shirt.
It does.
My shirt is pastel. The ears are pastel. I had
Perfect.
to, again, I love a matching moment. I'm a little bit basic. If I drank coffee, I would be a pumpkin spice latte girl.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't drink coffee. So. So before we get into Mackenzie's amazing fun trip, how about we hear a word from our sponsor?
Yeah, this episode of Extravagant Adventures is proudly sponsored by Wave of One Travel, your go-to experts for family theme park vacations. Whether you're dreaming of exploring the Wizarding World, embarking on an enchanting kingdom adventure, or discovering underwater paradise, Wave of One Travel has you covered with their insider knowledge and hidden gems. Say farewell to the stress of trip planning and embrace a journey filled with joy, laughter, and wonder by reaching out to a Wave of One travel agent today. Visit our website at www.waveofonetravel.com or give us a call at 201-401-5378 to let the magic begin. When it comes to family theme park travel, Wave of One Travel is the trusted name that turns your dreams into reality. Now let's immerse ourselves in enchanting tales and unforgettable moments on extravagant adventures.
So Mackenzie, we get to grill you on your trip. So first off, what was the reason for your trip?
So this was actually a work trip. I got an invitation from our business manager from Disney to attend some resort tours and a Disney Wish tour as well. So I was down there, so 2 work days, and then it was actually a quick trip. I didn't want to be away from the family for too long, so just a Wednesday through Saturday. Well, Wednesday through Sunday, actually, because my flight got canceled. So
this is, I think, the thing that people find funny about us as a breed of people, Disney people, that is, that we would go without kids. Yes, we are Disney adults, and that we enjoy it. I mean, as you will hear when we do these things, like they are work trips, which I think is, important to keep in mind. But yeah, it's just the most fun work. It's the happiest work trip on earth is what it is.
yeah.
Love it. So tell us where you stayed, because to me, where you stay is like super important. So where did you stay and what did you think?
Yes. Okay. So this whole trip was going to be like, I didn't have family. I was there by myself. I wanted to just try everything new or things that like my family doesn't do on a normal basis. So I ended up staying at Caribbean Beach for one night. I put the request in for a room in Trinidad because I wanted the under the sea room. I did not get that. I was in Jamaica. So I had a great location in relation to the Skyliner, which was awesome. Made it super easy to get to Epcot and Hollywood Studios. And then I ended up checking out the next day, and I did my last 2 nights at Coronado Springs in the Grand Destino Tower, which I absolutely loved. So,
did they move your luggage for you on your split stay?
Yeah, so I ended up packing up my luggage, and I had just what I needed for the day. I kept that with me, and then I ended up bringing all of my luggage. I actually even drove it over because I had my car, drove it over to Bell Services. I didn't want to leave it in the car all day, and they were able to transfer it for me. And so by the time I got to the tower, I just called Bell Services and had them bring it up.
So you rented a car?
I did. I needed a car because they were not providing transportation over to Port Canaveral. So I ended up renting a car. So check another new thing off my list because I never have a car when I'm at Disney because I don't like to drive while I'm there. So
yeah, and you don't have to pay for parking anymore at the hotels, which so glad they did away with that.
Thank you. I'm so glad that's back.
Yeah. So yeah, I only drove to one park, but I ended up driving to a couple of different resorts for different things as well. So it was definitely useful. Nice to have, but I don't think it saved me any time in particular. So, but
I feel like the Disney transportation, when we're talking about just visiting theme parks, is the best way to go. But if you're visiting other hotels, then yeah, because otherwise you have to get to a theme park and then transfer, and that's like a super pain. But when you're doing resort tours, which resorts did you tour? I'm excited to hear about that.
Yes. Okay. So we ended up starting, we all met at Blizzard Beach because it's closed, the parking lot. And they ended up taking us on a motor coach, and we started at Coronado Springs, and we toured the Grand Casino. We toured some of the grounds, and we did the tower in particular. So we got to see the 16th floor where you'll find Toledo and Dahlia. We did the ground floor where you'll find the other bar, Barcelona. And then we ended up getting to see one room in the tower. And that was we saw two rooms in the tower. And we ended up seeing a 1-bedroom suite, which is not technically a 1-bedroom, they would like to say, because it's not the same size as some of the other 1-bedrooms. So Coronado is like this hotel that is a moderate, but like it's a moderate with like an asterisk or a moderate plus. So they have some of these rooms, moderate plus, yeah. So some of these rooms are not quite big enough to fit into the Disney 1-bedroom category. So like you might just like walk into a standard room and luck out and have this like extra living space, which was really cool. So the room was gorgeous. Everything was really nicely updated. These rooms were done in 2019, I think everything was finished.
Yeah.
And
right before the pandemic. Yeah.
Yeah. So looks like not a lot of people
Basically brand new.
basically brand new, just the NBA players stayed there. And so it was a beautiful space. I absolutely loved it. So excited that I ended up moving over there that night. I ended up getting to stay in I happened to just luck out and get a king bed corner room. So from my room, I ended up having views of their water feature, but on the other side, I ended up having a great view of Animal Kingdom and Expedition Everest, which was awesome to wake up to in the morning and just to see at night. So.
And they have a really good club lounge too there. You weren't on the club lounge level, right? But their club lounge, people say, is one of the best ones.
Yeah, and so funny enough, it's the only moderate that has a club lounge. So hence why it's in this weird category by itself.
Correct. It has that, and it also has a Michelin-starred restaurant inside, which like is not what you would consider, when you think of a moderate hotel. So I do think it's unique in that way.
And a fitness center.
And a fitness center also.
Nothing about it feels moderate, I have to say. Like I understand the room types are different.
When you go into the offsite buildings, those do feel moderate.
Absolutely.
But in the tower, absolutely not. But it's also, just for our listeners to know, it is a very large convention center. I used to work for Chase, and Chase would have their corporate event there often, and they would basically buy out the entire space. So it's a huge convention hotel. Yes.
Isn't that where you worked when you were on the college program? Were you at
No, I worked at Saratoga Springs and Old Key West.
Wow, same.
Sorry.
Same.
Not same.
Oh, not the same.
Not even close.
Yeah. So, and we did get to walk around some of the grounds. I did not see, we did not get to tour a non-tower room. And so, maybe, that would give me something different. But those tower rooms, I mean, if it's within the budget, I would highly recommend it. I did not find that the bus system was terribly annoying. The tower is the last one to be picked up before you get to the parks. It's also the last one when you get back from the park. So yes, I guess if you've got tired kids or you're, tired yourself, yeah, you've got a little bit of a bus ride. But overall, I didn't think that the ride was too long getting through the resort itself. But it is a big resort.
Where else did you tour?
Yeah, so the next place that we went was actually where I was staying before that. So they did a flip-flop for me, and that was Caribbean Beach. So if you've heard the news, the under the sea rooms are now available to stay in and to book. So not to be confused with the Little Mermaid rooms, which I know that these are going to be called every single time, which are at Art of Animation. These are the under the sea rooms. So they are in the Trinidad area of Caribbean Beach. And they're super cute. They have, if you want that, under the sea vibe, I thought they did a good job from what the rooms look like before to what they, or even the regular rooms to that. It's a nice refresh. The bathrooms.
they're all fifth sleeper, right? They all
They
have
are
that
all
pull out.
sleeper. However, one
Yes.
big caveat, and make sure to ask your Disney approved travel advisor about this, is in the prior iteration before the rooms were completed, you were able to directly book a fifth sleeper room at CBR. That's not the case anymore. You cannot also book directly these under the sea rooms. So at best, you are booking like the fifth sleeper category,
Right.
and then having the request put in for Trinidad, the only building thus far that contains them.
They're trying to streamline their room type processes. So they got rid of the Pirates room, which, let's be real, the pirate rooms needed to say goodbye. They were really outdated. The under the sea rooms are cute, but they don't have their own category now. So
Correct. And to be TBD if they actually will. So, but they do have the fifth sleeper. They have the other, it was a pull down bed. So you have the pull down bed, the regular queen bed, and then the fifth sleeper. So if you were looking for, something where your room, you have a little bit of a living space, it's a nice option so that everyone's not just sitting on the bed at all points in time. So a little bit of a walk to the Skyliner, but overall, a great option. And we got to tour some of the resort area as well. And so getting to see Sebastian's and the pool and things like that. The lobby refresh, I hadn't been there since that, looked adorable. It was absolutely, nice Caribbean vibes for sure. So well done.
Where else did you go to the boardwalk? How do those rooms look?
Yeah, the boardwalk looked great. So I was just at the boardwalk in April, but I was on the villas side and everything hadn't been refreshed. We got to see 2 different room categories on the inside. Now, I will tell you that I told Abby that I was not in love with what the rooms look like in the photos. I just didn't think that they were like what I was imagining what the refresh would look like. And when I got there in person, I was so much happier. I thought that they looked way better. Yeah. So the rooms looked really nice. Nice updates. There was some Mickey touches. So you're getting to see all of that in those rooms as well. Definitely, I like it much better than what they looked like before.
That's a nice surprise because so many times you see pictures online and you're like, oh my God, it looks great. And then you get there and you're like, oh, this is garbage. So that's really nice that you're like, oh, I don't like this. And then you see it in person and you're like, oh, actually, I
totally, I love the villa side, but I would definitely consider it a contender for my clients or for myself for a future trip. So nice. I thought it was great. The other room category that I never book, never think to book. It's just one of those things that I'm so happy I got to see was the garden cottage suite. And so if you are a honeymooner or you just want a totally unique Disney stay, there are about 12 of these, I think. And it looks like you're, walking into your own little perfect garden cottage. They only sleep 2. So, you're looking for a couple. They're 2 stories, but they're all going through refurbs as well. And they looked absolutely awesome. So, yeah. Unfortunately, I won't be staying there unless I'm doing an adulting trip, but I would highly recommend it to anyone who wants to, be at the boardwalk and close to Epcot. So great room. And then we drove over to the Grand Floridian and we got to see the new rooms at the Grand, which I thought were awesome. I
did see those on my resort tour too. They're so nice.
They're so nice. All of the touches, the nods to Mary Poppins, everything just looked really well done. I was just so pleased with that room.
Me too. And I thought it was interesting because some of those pictures have started to be updated on the websites, and I don't think they do the rooms justice. I know there was a lot of chatter too, in the online places of them looking bland or feeling like they had lost some of the charm. I can understand how people thought that from the pictures, but in person,
no,
it's excellent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. And I was there when the scaffolding had come down in the lobby, so I didn't have to see any of that. So exciting news there.
Well, they did say the lobby's not done.
No, it's not, but it was down for the moment. So they were,
which is nice because they got to put up the gingerbread house.
yes. Yep. So those tours, it was great. We spent like 5 hours touring the resorts, touring some grounds, learning new things, getting to see some restaurants, which was all, while I have stayed officially at all of those resorts, it was really nice to see. I have the luck of staying places usually right before they go under refreshment.
Yeah, the boardwalk in April. Well,
Yeah.
you were TBC, but still.
Yeah. So, but I was at the Grand right in like October of 21. So yeah, I get to, stay at places, contemporary January 2020. So yeah, right before that refresh, but I saw it afterwards. So.
Man.
But yeah,
Well,
so those were my resort tours, and we'll stay the next day for another podcast day.
Yeah, when we talk about
I did want to talk about some of the other things that I did that were all
tell us
new to
about
me.
your trip, because I know work trips are very different than family trips. So obviously basically a whole day was spent doing resort tours. What else were you able to do while you were there?
Yeah, so I got to meet a lot of new agents, which was really great. And actually, I knew some other people on the tour. So I got to connect with some people that I knew from prior years. And so I got there Wednesday, and I ended up having some time by myself. And I ended up going into Epcot, and I am my own worst client. I didn't book any dining reservations until about 24 hours beforehand.
But it's Epcot. It's Food and Wine Festival.
Yes.
You don't need any dining reservations.
Exactly. So, but I didn't book for any part of the trip. So I was just leaving everything like totally open to see like what I wanted to do. And so I ended up getting there on Wednesday, and it was a, long day. So I was exhausted, and I really, really, really wanted to try the new sushi place in Japan.
Oh yeah.
And so I was able to get a reservation there, and I did dinner by myself, and I tried the Taki sampler and the Tokyo roll, and everything was great. I would put that on my list for clients for sure. I love the,
I was gonna say that's a nice change, because that I don't think Tokyo dining was anyone's favorite before.
No, it was good. I thought everything was, fresh tasting. Our staff were super attentive. So it was great. Yeah.
Excellent news.
Thursday, I ended up rope dropping Hollywood Studio. Oh, Wednesday, I'm a Genie Plus junkie. So I decided to not get Genie Plus and to try my hat at just seeing what I could get. So I had done virtual queue, and the lines in September are like so low that I hopped on to Remy's, and I was on Remy's within like 30 minutes. Nice. And yeah, we don't get to do that with without the kids. So tried that. I ended up doing dinner, Road Guardians. I ended up watching Epcot Forever. Yep. Decided to not wait in the extremely long Skyliner line, because I don't know where everyone was throughout the park, but they were all at the Skyliner when I was leaving. So I ended up walking over to the boardwalk and just seeing what entertainment was over there. And then it ended up going back and crashing. But the next day I ended up doing a morning at Hollywood Studios before I went on my resort tour. So nothing super new there. Oh, I did rope drop Rise, which is not something I would ever do either.
How long was your wait?
40 minutes. That was it.
Okay.
So, and actually, I didn't even rope drop it. I ended up, I was going to do Tower of Terror first, and because I had Slinky Dog as my Genie Plus, and then it was closed, so I did Rock and Roller Coaster, and then I went over to Rise. So I actually was able to do one ride and then go on Rise, which was
okay. So 40 minutes after you already did one ride is pretty good.
It's pretty good.
Really good. And also, I would just like to
point out opposite ends of the park.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say. Not only was that, I was going to say that's like the antithesis of what Rachel would have chosen to do. And you got your steps in nice and early.
Oh yeah.
Nice and early.
Yep. So went over to basically did my highlights tour of everything that I love at Hollywood Studios and did it all before 11:30.
Nice.
And so did Slinky Dog, did Toy Story Mania, had Woody's for lunch. So I was living my best life. Ended with Runaway Railway, and then took the Skyliner back and grabbed my car and went over to the resort tours.
Nice.
So, yeah. And
So
then
were those the only 2 parks that you were able to do on the trip?
No, I ended up doing what else did I do? I went back for Fantasmic, and then I ended up doing Magic Kingdom on Friday for a short little bit before the Halloween party. And then I did Epcot that evening. I did Space 220, which was new to me. And then Saturday morning, I went to Magic Kingdom. So the only one I didn't get to was Animal Kingdom this trip.
Nice.
Yeah. So
what were some of the, well, you kind of already talked about, but what was some of the, were your big highlights? Did you learn anything at the parks besides, you know, the things that low crowds in September? We can confirm they are amazing in September.
yeah. So things that I learned, I feel like I spent, you know, a couple hours here or there at the park. So not like a ton of time, and like none of that was like super, you know, new to me. I feel like I was on like an eating tour basically. So I did you know, Toledo Thursday night before Fantasmic, which I would put on my list. Space 220. Yeah, things like that. I would just say, like, no matter what, like, it just takes, you know, even without kids, like, it just took a while to like get around everywhere. There were some like pretty bad like downpours and things like that. So yeah, no, it was kind of a whirlwind, but I don't know.
That's how those work trips end up being, right? Just like very busy.
Yeah, I don't feel like I did a lot of, I learned a lot about like the different resorts and things that like maybe I didn't know, you know, I didn't realize that like the Grand Destino Tower was based on a short. I had no idea.
Yes.
So yeah, some like all new things there, but found some hidden Mickeys. Yeah, things like that.
It is funny about work trips. I learn so much when I'm with like, you know, Disney does such a nice job. I feel like, especially, you know, with the agent education programs about making sure that we're all learning tons. But then when I'm in the parks by myself, I am sort of doing like a highlights of my own personal thing, which I think then in turn makes me more tolerable on family trips because I'm not so worried about checking off my boxes. It's sort of like scratches, you know.
Scratches the itch. Yeah.
Yeah, because just be like what I want to do is not necessarily what my family wants to do. So, you know, getting to do what I want to do when I want to do it and not have to argue or, you know, have a conversation about what we're doing and just do it.
Yeah.
But also you're exhausted because you're meeting new people, you're learning new things, you're touring all these hotels that you haven't seen before. So work trips are work, but we do it because we love our clients and we want them to have the best experience ever.
Yes, I did go into Magic Kingdom on a park day, so a party day.
Yeah, how was that?
So I got there right at the same time that party goers were going in, so the lines were quite long. And I guess I was there like right before, so they were all like lining up, and like as I was leaving, people were just like the hordes were all coming in. So it was definitely busier towards the afternoon, but I would say that morning looked like it was going to be pretty empty. I kept watching the wait time. So
yeah,
if you know, do have a park hopper ticket, you know, going to Magic Kingdom on a party day, you know, a lot of people won't do that. So I think that that's a good idea. If you have a park hopper ticket or you're at Magic Kingdom, you know, I would go pick up your bag, your party bag, your treat bag, somewhere in the park and not wait in that line because that just seemed a bit miserable. And then they started, you know, bringing everyone, as they, you know, always do, through the backstage entrance to Tomorrowland to get them all kind of situated over there. So versus like we got to like hang out on Magic King on Main Street.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any other like you said you ate at Space 220. Did you eat at the lounge or Space 220?
I did the restaurant.
Okay.
Yeah.
What I hate Space 220. How did you feel about it?
So
Abby has an opinion very clearly.
Yeah. So I ended up meeting an agent friend, and we ended up adding her to my reservation. And so we both tried different things. Food wise, I thought that her calamari was good. I thought we both ended up having steak. I thought my steak was cooked how I wanted it to be. I thought it was a little on the salty side. I overall thought that the space, no pun intended, was fun, but for the price point of whatever it was, what was it, $79? I'm like, this is my Be Our Guest. Like, this is the of you're paying for your view.
And Rachel touched on it, but I think that's why the lounge actually makes more sense. You still get to go up in the elevator. They will let you walk, which is the big thing. And they'll still let you walk by, like, you know, the space windows. But you can order from both the lounge menu and the regular menu without being held to that 3-course meal. So that's like a nice hack. I went there with my kids when we were there in February. They were enamored by the entire thing. I was surprised about how much they ate, but like, it's an insane price tag for a family of 4, I think, for what like the value is. So
it was the same price tag for one of us. And my friend had the DVC discount, and so we paid even less, and it still was like a oof. And
no, when I went
so much food
with my DVC discount, I ordered a singular drink, and with tip, my bill was $110.
Yeah.
One drink?
With one drink. Granted, I did say with tip, so, you know, but that's a lot of money for one person.
I'll tell you what mine was with her discount.
Because the food was fine, but I'd rather go to Be Our Guest for that price, because Be Our Guest food I do really like. I would rather go to Toledo. That's a great steak.
Oh my God. My Toledo meal was amazing.
Well, it should be. It's a Michelin star restaurant.
And it has a great view.
Yeah. So I ended up getting 2 glasses of wine while we were like sitting there enjoying, and mine was $145 with her discount.
With a discount.
With a discount. And I'm one person.
That's a lot of money. That's at the end of the day, my issue with Space 220 is the price point. So the lounge is absolutely a better option, but it's so much harder to get a reservation at the lounge than at a table.
I know. It didn't used to be like that when it first opened, because I think everyone thought they'd be missing out on some part of the experience. It's definitely gone the other way. Secret's out, y'all.
Yeah, now they're like, I don't want a prefix. I just want a drink and a snacky snack.
I just want to ride in the elevator and see what it looks like.
I just, if they would just let people ride in the elevator, it would lose all of its high demand. I really feel like they should just let people ride in the dang elevator.
Or it should be, they should construct a second elevator. So like that's a thing. Or you know how when you go into a Shake Shack, there's the cold line and the hot food line. Like some sort of situation where that is like, it's tough.
Managed. Yeah. Because there would not be the demand there is if you could just go up. Yeah. But moral of the story, you had a great time.
Yay!
Had a great time, learned lots, figured out how to get on another flight. You
guys are making me want to get on a flight down there. I'm like ready to squeeze in another trip.
My 3-year-old was not happy that I was down there. So
no, that's always the hardest part.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So
anyone for Jollywood? Should we go to Jollywood, guys?
I already told you I'm going for Jollywood, so y'all need to join me because I'm going the week of December 5th.
Let's do it, Mackenzie.
I think that's a great plan.
Just saying, the more the merrier. Literally. Well, thank you so much to our sponsor this week, Wave of a One. Thank you, Mackenzie, for your amazing trip recap. Yeah. And next episode, we are going to have a special guest talking about Halloween Horror Nights. So a completely big shift for us. We're going to talk about actual scary things and not so scary things. So make sure you tune in for that. And thank you all very much. Have a great night.
Bye.
Bye.